Hello, you're watching India Today Global with me, Ishita Mitra, and the big news we're going to cover for you today is about the Azerbaijan Airlines plane crash that led to the death of around 38 people. But we'll do this with a new angle involving Russia. Now, before we get into the details of what are the conspiracy theories floating around, let's understand what exactly happened. Now, a tragic incident occurred involving an Azerbaijan Airlines aircraft on December 25th. The flight, which was traveling from Baku to Grozny in Russia, crashed near the western Kazakhstan city of Aktau. And this incident led to the death of, as we mentioned before, around 38 people, and this included both passengers and crew members. And the number 38 was out of 67 people which were on board the ill-fated flight. Now, initial reports from the crew indicated that the plane had experienced a significant impact on the fuselage, which is basically the main body of the aircraft. And as the aircraft struggled to land, it is believed that it crashed during the emergency landing attempt. Now, at first, investigators believed that the crash was caused due to a bird strike. But now, several theories have started coming up, some pointing fingers even towards Russia. Now, important thing to note here is that these stories have started coming up right after people who experienced the incident started sharing their videos and their experiences on social media. Now, we'll show you some of these videos. So, take a look at your screen and how after the impact some holes were being seen in the seats of the aircraft. Now, ever since these videos came up, started showing fuselage with strange holes, a lot of theories began to float around that how the aircraft might have been shot down. And now some of these videos even featured what appeared to be, as I told you before, bullet-like holes in life jacket inside the plane. Now, this again has fueled speculation about a potential attack. Now, was this an internal explosion, or was there an external factor involved in what led to the crash of this plane? These are the questions that we're going to try and answer this for you. Now, it's not only just these theories that people have been talking about. Some on social media have also been suggesting that plane could have been intercepted by Russian air defense systems. Now, what does this mean? There are three reasons to back these theories. Let's understand. Well, defense analysts and a lot of people on social media say that bullet-like holes which were seen in a life jacket and on certain seats in the aircraft are consistent with an anti-aircraft missile strike. So, and the second reason that they're backing this theory for is the timing of the attack. They say that the timing of the crash coincided with Russian military operations against Ukrainian drones in the region. So basically suggesting that maybe the strike was against a drone and the Russian forces mistook the plane for that. And the third reason which is backing this theory is the path of the flight. Now, the aircraft's path was tracked on flight radar 24. And this initially showed that aircraft was flying over the Republic of Dagestan in Russia. But then it disappeared from radar for about an hour. So now this has led to speculation that this could be an indication that the plane was caught in the crosshairs of Russian air defense systems, because this was before the plane again became visible on radar as it flew over western Kazakhstan before it tragically crashed. Now, this gap that was shown on the radar, they're saying that this gap in radar coverage led to a lot of suspicions that there is some external forces involved in the crash. However, as of now, we do not have any solid evidence that shows a direct link to any military activity. Now, there's another theory which is in entire contradiction to this one. There's one theory that talks about Russian anti-missile system coming into play. There's one theory talking about people actually shooting down the plane, and now there's another theory which says that the real cause of the damage might have been an explosion, internal explosion in fact. Now, this explosion came from an oxygen tank that supplies air to the cockpit in the event of depressurization. Now, this theory says that the explosion caused extensive damage to the plane's fuselage, possibly leading to its disintegration. Of course, you must have seen visuals, plane especially, scattering down because this force of this explosion was so strong. It effectively led to aircraft scattering into fragments. So this is one theory that has been backed by this technical explanation as well, and this says that damage which appeared on the fuselage was caused by an internal malfunction rather than an external intervention, which of course would point your fingers towards Russia. So now, as all of these theories are going around on social media, people are coming up and saying that how and what could have possibly led to this crash. Azerbaijan's president has announced a criminal investigation, in fact, and they are exploring all possible causes of the crash through this investigation. A team of investigators has been dispatched to Kazakhstan to examine the wreckage and gather further evidence to understand, what were the events that unfolded right before the crash and what eventually led to, the plane burning down and leading to such a tragic incident. The black box, of course, which is something that is very crucial. The black box plays a very crucial role in understanding what exactly caused the crash, has been reportedly recovered, and this means that we could very well be getting the initial findings soon. And of course, as we talked about this, that initial findings which had come before the recovery of the black box suggested that a bird strike led to emergency landing, but ongoing analysis will determine whether external factors such as potentially military engagement, this is something I'll emphasize on, because of course if it was an explosion inside the plane that caused a crash or a bird strike, then of course this is a tragic incident that could have folded, in any circumstances. But if there is an external power involved or a state involved, especially in this, then we need to hold that state accountable. And therefore, this ongoing investigation will determine whether any external factors or was there a military engagement involved that led to the crash. Now, the tragic loss of life is something in this incident that underscores the importance of a thorough and transparent investigation, especially because we see this is not something that happened just one country, it involves several countries as well. So, as the situation evolves, we'll continue to bring you more updates and developments on the story, because we see that continuously we're getting more updates as time passes by. So, thank you so much for staying with us on this story and staying tuned to India Today Global. We'll continue to bring you more updates on global stories.